Back in the locker room, Tunch and Wolf, brought to you by Chrysler Jeep Dodge. Wolf, well, it's game week, which makes it kind of exciting.
It does.
You know, very nerve-wracking for the young guys.
Very nerve-wracking indeed.
Yeah.
And just as a tip for the young bucks from Uncle Wolf, let me just say that when you go for your pregame, go for Eggs Benedict with extra hollandaise sauce.
Right.
You know what? The
It
eggs
sits so light in your stomach when it's 90 degrees.
It greases your innards, and you know what?
Gosh.
It goes down easy, and better yet, it comes up easy too. Less roughage, so it's not as painful. I'm thinking out for these young bucks.
All right, first game is always nerve-wracking for the rookies, guys, especially from smaller schools.
Like you?
Like me, yeah. Absolutely. You know, hearing Eric Fowler talk about it, and you know, you'll see the same thing probably from a lot of the young guys. But there'll be that nervousness, and they're going to get a good look because we're not going to see the first team very much.
No, we're not going to see the first team much at all. What, that cameo appearance? You know, just kind of come out and wave. You know, do a series
drive,
or so. Yeah, hopefully a drive. You want to start fast. You would love to see him come out and you know, click down the field a little bit. You know, get a little good groove going on. But you know, certainly they are not going to be there long.
Well. New look for New Orleans. They lost some guys to free agency. They also picked up some guys. Now, the defense, only 19 takeaways last year. They were 31st in the NFL. So they go out and get Brian Simmons from the Cincinnati Bengals. They also get Kevin Casefaharn. So, you know, Casefaharn had 6 picks last year. They're hoping he brings something to this defense. And that's one of the things that they really want to focus on is getting turnovers and getting more of a big play defense because the offense really carried this team last year.
Is Hollis Thomas back, the big run stuffer? Hollis Thomas was a defensive lineman I thought that they had back in, and I'm not sure, so correct me if I'm wrong, but I think Hollis Thomas is back up. And
they signed Kendrick Clancy from also from free agency, and they're hoping he helps shore up the run stoppers. The other thing is that on the offensive side, they're looking for a number 2 receiver to go with their young stud, Marcus Colston. And,
what a stud he is.
You know, Joe Horn is gone, and so they've, you know, the
Horn is not plenty anymore.
So they get David Patton and they're Meacham, their first-round draft pick this year as a wide receiver. That offense, they want to put the ball in the air, and they were the number 1 passing offense in the National Football League last year. And you know, Sean Payton, former quarterback at Eastern Illinois University, but you know, was the rivalry of the Sycamores. You know, he's done great things with that. I mean, does a great job of really using both Deuce McAllister as one running back, as well as Bush, who is, you know, they try to get him in distinct situations, matchup problems, and they can do a lot of stuff with both those guys.
The other guy I'm looking forward to seeing?
Who?
Tyler Palko.
Oh, that's right.
Tyler is there, and so that's something that a lot of Pittsburgh fans would want to stay tuned for. You know, despite the fact that maybe in the 3rd, 4th quarter you're starting to get the yawns, trying to think, maybe time to hit the sack. Got a big week coming up. You know, it's Sunday night, that sort of thing. Hey, you might want to stick around and see the young Tyler Palko go out there and make his pro debut. And you know who else is there? Rob Petiti, the tackle from also from University of Pittsburgh.
From Dallas.
Yeah, so
Dallas.
He went from Dallas. He got picked up by the Saints.
And you know who else is there? Dougie Marrone, our old buddy, who's
Dougie
our offensive
Marrone,
coordinator, right? So we'll be having lunch with tomorrow. We could pick his brain.
I'll never forget the guy in camp used to go every day. Do you think I'm getting cut today?
Yeah. And now he is an offensive coordinator. A little around the National Football League news. You know, last week when we were talking, we didn't know what Dante Culpepper's future is. Now with the Raiders, good place for him or bad place?
It's good as any other. I mean, he can throw the ball downfield, and Al Davis is not that worried about picks. Jamarcus Russell is holding out. Perfect time for the Dante one to go in there and Culpepper it up.
You know, I think Culpepper it up. I liked it. I think this is a great situation for Dante Culpepper. I'm curious how much, you know, how that knee is, how stable that knee really is. If that knee is stable, this could be a place that allows Dante, I mean, to have that 1 year. They signed him to a 1-year deal. He comes in, you know, he's a nice tutor for Jamarcus Russell. Does a great, you know, has had great years in the past. It'll be interesting to see how he plays this year, but that would be a good place. But I don't know that I would want to go to Oakland anyway.
Who would want to go to Oakland
Right.
if you didn't have
Right.
to? But it's a paycheck.
Right.
The thing about it is, think of it: Jamarcus Russell, Dante Culpepper. Is that the biggest 1-2 quarterback combination ever in the NFL?
Right.
I mean, they're both big guys.
Yeah.
Not seen since maybe Sonny Jurgensen
60.
and Billy Kilmer,
Yeah.
of the slinger duos
Right,
down
right.
in Washington.
Yeah,
They both had guts.
Little different.
Yeah, they were
distribution of the
height
weight.
challenged.
Yes.
They were almost as big
Yeah.
as Dante Culpepper, but it was just kind of mashed down a foot or so.
One of the things that everybody says how difficult it is to repeat as Super Bowl champions. Let's talk about our buddy Tony Dungy with the Indianapolis Colts. How tough is it going to be for them this year, Wolf?
Well, I look at the Steelers after
Yeah.
winning all. They went 8-8. I got to figure that Indianapolis is going to be susceptible to the same sort of things that kind of befell the Pittsburgh Steelers. There's so much attention paid to you that even when you're an average guy, you become above average in the light of the public because they want you, and so money starts flying around. And even the jabronis, the everyday guys, they bump up the average guys. Yeah, you get a little something on the side, too, because, hey, you do have a ring.
Right.
Says something about you.
Right.
And then, of course, your big stars, then you got problems.
Right.
Because everybody wants your time and everybody wants to do a deal with you. And so that could be problematic.
Tony wrote a book.
Yeah, he did.
And the reviews have been outstanding, and I have not read it, but I've talked to a couple guys who have read it. One of the guys.
Does it have pictures?
Wolf. I
was just wondering.
He's got a coloring book that goes hand in hand with it for you. It's kind of like a manual. First of all, you're surprised he wrote the book, and I heard that football is just a part of it, and obviously his faith is a huge part of it.
Well, being the man that he is, would you expect any different?
Right. And you know what? One of the beauties of Tony is that is he uses his platform to glorify God. I mean, that's his thing, and so it's exciting to see.
It's a part of him,
right? It really is.
It's not something that he brings in extra.
Right.
It is who he is,
right?
And that is the most beautiful thing about it. And to see a Tony Dungy operate and do the things that he does, it comes from the core of the center because he knows who he is before God.
Right. And then the other exciting thing is that both last year's Super Bowl, not only Tony but Lovie Smith as well, two guys with a love for Christ and for service and for people, and they coach differently.
Yes.
They're not yellers, they're not screamers. They're teachers, and
yes, they are.
it was very obvious in the way that they both led their team. So last year was a great year.
So did Tony send you a book?
Good. No, not. But I'm going to get an autograph. That's all we have
He
time
didn't send
for.
me one either.
So long, everyone, and God bless. He's Wolf. I'm Tunch.